This is KUAM News Extra. I'm Jason Salas. Thank you so much for streaming us on YouTube or watching us on KUAM TV8, because we open the show with social work, a very noble and worthwhile pursuit in our island community. And there's a conference for people that want to take up this endeavor as a profession, or people that just feel that they have a calling to help others. We have Ray Shinohara over there. Hafa Ray.
Hafa.
You are a social work student at the moment.
Yes, I am.
All right. Very, very proudly.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that is not a tough, or that is not an easy major, I should say.
No, it is not.
Yeah. Would you say the academic part of it is more challenging, or the emotion that you have to like actually take on when you do that kind of work?
Honestly, I think it's more of the understanding, the empathy we have to have, and being able to be open-minded and considerate towards other people.
All right, which is not something you can pick up overnight.
No, it's
certainly
not. Yeah.
All right, well, we're happy to have you.
Thank you.
And Ovita Perez from the National Association of Social Work. Hafa once again.
Hafa, Jason, thank you for having us year after year.
Yeah, and I should say belated New Year. We're like 3 months in, because now we're in March. But thank you for putting on this conference again. And I'm curious, because when I was going to UOG, social work was always like, there were 3 or 4 graduates. It was kind of like a small, concentrated group, but it has grown.
It has grown. I think the latest cohort has 33
excellent
students. So we're really, really pleased with that. We're going to be flooded, but that's okay, because then there'll never be a shortage of social workers. So.
And social work, the profession itself and the scale and scope of what you find folks do is so broad.
It's very, very broad. You go from birth to the end of life.
Exactly. So what's the theme of this conference? Do you have like a central rallying cry? Or
Our theme is called Healing Our Community, the Intersectionality of Race, Addiction, and Historical Trauma. And if you translate that in Chamorro, it's Hinemlo Comunidad y Inasuda Inatsaki Put Rasa Inaditin Bineno Zanitsinio Hinarason.
Of course.
So very touching. We're going to be talking about the complex social issues on Guam, focusing on sexual misconduct. That has really been an uproar in the last decade. Yeah. The drug epidemic that continues to plague our island, the homelessness, racial tensions, and I think the most important of it all would be the unresolved historical trauma, because most of the consumers that we serve, it starts with trauma in every aspect that you can think of. For the most part, something happened to an individual, to their families, to the community that started from a trauma of some sort. So I mean, you just don't wake up one day and say, I'm going to become a drug addict, or I'm going to abuse my kids. Something happened that
triggered that.
That triggered that sort of behavior. So that's going to be the focus of our training for this year. So we're inviting all the social workers on Guam, the human services providers. There's a long list of on the agenda. So it's going to be a very healing. I think the focus also is going to try to figure out how can we heal our community from all these social ills.
Now, Ray, I like what you said at the beginning, because empathy, I think, was probably the key characteristic of what you have to learn to embrace and adopt as a social worker. And unlike other disciplines, like me, right? I majored in business and computer science. It was known that we have a certain number of years when you have to grow, you have to get your feet wet, you have to be mentored, and then maybe in like year 6 or 7, you maybe get to middle management, and then you're given more, direct responsibility, and you can make larger decisions. You guys in social work, man, you guys hit the ground running from day one.
Yep.
Yeah. So what are you and your peers, and what are you guys learning about coming into this profession?
So we learn about a lot of the generalistic social work practices. So basically how to be a basic social worker. From there, we break off into our practicum roles and jobs, and we go out into the community and partner up with another social worker so we could learn what the responsibilities and characteristics a social worker needs to affect a positive change in the community. And
I'm sure that even though you and your colleagues aren't degree-holding social workers at the moment, but very soon. Early congratulations, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you.
Your input, from having these experiences and seeing these issues and everything is probably immeasurable value to people like you, Avita, and people with like more tenured experience.
Yes.
Would that be correct?
Yes, that's very, very correct. And I think the learning experience when they go out into the community agencies, what they learn can really help them. They can figure out whether this is the niche that the kind of population that they really, really want to work on. So either it lets them know that that's not what you want to do, or it really enhances that this is really what I want to do.
Okay, well, very quick, how can people register to attend the conference? Because like you said, I mean, I'm sure this is going to be standing room only.
They can email the conference email address, which is naswgu@gmail.com. Call the number at 727-6843. We also have a website, which is it's naswgu.socialworkers.org, and that's primarily for social workers that are going to self-pay. But if they're going to with the government agencies, they just download the registration form, fill it out, and then email it back to naswgu@gmail.com.
All right. Well, on behalf of A Grateful Island, we thank all of you in the social work profession for what you do for the island community. You're very, very valuable members.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Stay tuned. We are back with more show after this.